Sports Walk is back. Watch Season 2 of Backpack Broadcasting's original web series that brings you the opinions of real sports fans. The entire first season and current season are available now on the Sports Walk YouTube channel and Facebook page. Check out the 2017 NYC WebFest official selection and see what other sports fans have to say on the hottest issues in sports today. It's easy. Just take the Sports Walk. AHTT Podcast, episode 76, Dexter, Henry, Brian, Fonseca. We have a guest with us today, and if you're watching the video, you're probably wondering why Brian is laughing, looking absolutely ridiculous. And it's because him and our guest...
Happy Easter, everybody!
What up? Happy day after 420,
You don't care about Easter, I can tell you that much.
Hold on.
Wow.
Let's relax.
Let's relax. You care about the video you just
came
saw.
for your whole life.
That's what you care about.
No,
you do not care about
you're making
Easter.
me sound like I'm highly problematic out here. I'm not.
That's a lie.
First of all, we have a guest, as you mentioned.
Kristian Winfield.
What up?
SB Nation NBA writer.
Yeah, it is me.
Brooklyn Knight.
Yes.
Representing Bed-Stuy.
Absolutely.
Here. How you
said
doing?
Brooklyn
Hampton
Knight.
alum.
You said Brooklyn Knight in two different words.
Yeah, I was thinking
Feel
about
me?
what I was going to say from Brooklyn. I said it like it was the Nets' old mascot, but that's not what I was going for.
Jesus Christ.
That mascot was scary.
It was pretty awful.
But yes, you were saying you went
Brooklyn Knight, let me say it right.
Yes, Brooklyn Knight, Hampton alum, Bed-Stuy, do or die.
HBCU.
All that. HBCU life. Shout out to everybody that went to HBCU, especially if you went to Hampton.
Yeah.
I love y'all.
Howard people real salty right now.
Nah, I got love for Howard people. I got love for y'all. Just a little bit, though. Not too much.
Oh, good. How you doing, man? Good?
I'm good.
Good?
Yeah, yesterday the Nets lost, so that was my day yesterday.
You sound like you're down as much as the Nets fans.
No.
I
mean, I'm coming down from yesterday. Was also just it was a lot going on yesterday.
A lot going on yesterday. Energy at the Barclays Center. Okay.
Energy at the Barclays Center was amazing. Playoff basketball being back in here this is my first time covering playoff basketball.
Same.
Dope.
Can't get enough.
Okay.
It was really
you
dope.
too, right?
Yeah.
It was, what?
Whoa. Playoff NBA basketball.
NBA basketball. Well, okay, let me ask you, but what was it like for both of y'all being there for games 3 and 4 of this series, having that energy? What was that like? Because I feel like I experienced it, I've experienced it when the Knicks hadn't been in the playoffs for like 10 years, and that was crazy in itself.
Yeah.
But back in 2010 or 11, I can't remember what, 11, what was it like for you guys?
I mean, the word that comes to mind immediately is electric. You know what I'm saying? Like you walk in there and you can literally feel the energy. You can feel all these people actually pulling for the Nets because we've been there when there's more opposing fans in there than Nets fans more for the Nets.
That was early this season.
Yeah, but now it's like you can kind of feel that this fan base is kind of invested. And I was there like, yo, you could see all the people waving these towels. I was like, yo, this is what it's supposed to be like. So hopefully this is what it's like going forward.
There are also just different levels of intensity because like with the NBA in comparison to college and like a WNBA playoff game that I did, the intensity levels are just different in their own way. Like college is really intense for other reasons that may appear to be problematic to some people.
Fact.
And there's bans and stuff like that, so it's a little different. Whereas in the NBA, there's probably their own forms of problematic people that are there, but there's also, there was a brawl yesterday, if you want to call it that, or a scuffle or whatever.
It was a scuffle. That was not a brawl.
Yeah, if you want to call it that. That I was here for.
Yeah, that was fun. That was real fun.
Is anybody shocked? You're always here for the
I don't think Jared Dudley wanted to smoke, though. He ran up on Joel Embiid. He could have, like, bum rushed him. He just did a little nudge. I don't think he wanted nothing serious.
I don't know, but with me, it's like I was annoyed that he and Jimmy Butler got ejected first.
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
because I'm like,
fair.
where are we now that really this warrants an ejection?
Yeah.
I think that, but I'm also the type of dude that, sometimes y'all just need to fight it out. For like a couple seconds.
I feel like for you that's all the time.
But here's the thing. After that, no, not all the time. But
it could be all the time.
It's a playoff series.
I'm with you. I don't think
it's game 4. I don't think it warrants getting ejected, especially like two very important players to their team.
I thought it was an overreaction for sure. I didn't think that needed to be tossed. And especially when it's an all-star like Jimmy Butler, when you're tossing him and then you're tossing Jared Dudley, who's not an all-star. These players obviously have two different impacts on their game.
You could say the leader of the team. Jared Dudley, who's not an all-star.
I mean,
I feel like what Kristian wanted to say is like he was a nobody, like Joel Embiid said.
I wouldn't say he's a nobody, but like
no, I'm not saying that.
But I know what you're saying. But
I didn't think it was fair.
Jared Dudley is very I feel like Jimmy Butler's production. Tobias Harris pretty much took that over. Whereas the things that Jared Dudley was doing, the Nets were fine. The Nets were fine up until like the last 5 minutes where they do that.
They were.
And yeah, again, I just didn't think it warranted an ejection. It's just an overreaction from referees who lost control of the situation, who didn't know what to do. They took a long time to decide what was going on.
Yeah.
And again, I think that
it was a long ass break. We had to wait for a minute. I was like, yo, what the hell is going on there?
I just don't think excessive physicality when careers are on the line, when seasons are on the line, warrant an ejection. It's like, yo, sometimes guys could push and shove or whatever and still continue to play. You know how many times in the park that guys would get into fights and then we would just keep playing? Like, yo, just let them play. This is a game at the end of the day.
I mean, yeah.
You know what we're going to get, though? Right. We're going to get that nice little last 2-minute report apology, and that's about it.
Oh,
that's as far as that's going to go.
The last 2-minute report bothers me sometimes.
Yeah.
Kenny Atkinson was annoyed about it.
What's the point of putting it out when y'all ain't going to change anything?
Exactly.
That's kind of my problem.
It's intended to, highlight transparency and things like that. But
what good is transparency, again, if you're not going to change anything?
There's a reason that the saying, when keeping it real goes wrong, is a thing.
Yes,
which I'm learning firsthand.
Yes.
as we progress.
Yes.
in this,
it can happen and get very real.
Right.
But Kristian, we like to do this when we have fellow journalists up here. We like to ask them about what they've been through in their career to get where they're from. We gave a little bit of your background, being from BK.
Got you.
So how did you get into the game of this sports journalism?
I mean, it basically got down to the point for me where in high school I realized that I wasn't going to be an NBA player, right? I was like, all right, I'm not going to the NBA. I'm not about to. I played football a little bit in high school, but Bannock didn't have a football team, so I was playing for some like neighborhood football teams, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to the NFL, not going to the NBA, not about to sell drugs. What am I going to do? Because I need to make a living. So I decided to take my love for basketball. I was already a good writer, so I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to combine the two and see what happens. And I realized that I wanted to come home. I didn't want to cover college basketball or high school sports because sometimes you can graduate and get a journalism degree and then get pigeonholed in a small market covering high school volleyball and be sick. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to come home and make it work.
Yo, shout out to all the people in the small markets.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you got to grind it out. I feel you.
Yeah.
I didn't
want to do that. That's just not the route you wanted to go.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to come home. I was from here, right? So I was like, all right, at least I can do is just stay at the crib and write. And I ended up, I graduated from Hampton in 2015. I got an internship in D.C. in right after graduation, where I was doing investigative reporting at the Center for Public Integrity. It had nothing to do with sports whatsoever.
That's still dope,
and
though.
And then, what happened was I found it was a job opening on Indeed, and it was for About.com. They had like a sports section that had opened up, and they needed someone to cover the Knicks. And I applied for it, got the job, and from that point on, things just I treated that like I was like ESPN's New York Knicks reporter, right? And then, after a while, SB Nation saw what I was doing. They brought me on. The Garden ended up rescinding my credentials for one season, and that's when I ended up at Barclays for a while. And now I'm at Barclays in the Garden whenever needed.
We are into these NBA playoffs.
Lord of mercy.
And as we're talking right now, we are sort of most teams are by the time this podcast comes out, we'll have 4 games that have been completed in the first round.
Right.
What have you made or thought of these playoffs thus far?
I think there are a lot of teams that are like proving themselves as franchises that should be attractive in the future. I think 3 teams really. There's Brooklyn. That's the obvious example. B, there's the Clippers. Clippers are a team that are positioning themselves to sign some max free agents. C, I like what Orlando is doing. I think Orlando's a team that they're scrapping against Toronto. They got 1 win, and they're a team that's like, hey, we're here to win, and come play with us. They're not going to get a max guy, but they're going to garner some interest from maybe some tier 2 type of free agents because they could really use an upgrade at that point guard. So I love DJ Augustine, but he's not the point guard they need to carry themselves into irrelevant. So I like what some of those teams are doing. I like the Rockets look amazing right now. I've been able to pick Utah apart. It's kind of ridiculous. Giannis, this is a big series for him. We need to see if he can carry this team. Well, I think they were 8th last year, and now they're number 1 seed. Can they go to the finals? I think if they get to the finals and face the Warriors, that series can go either way in my book. I think Milwaukee and Bud, the way they play, the way they're coached, that series could go either way. It's a lot of really good basketball going on right now. I mean, if you're a real basketball fan, this is like your dream almost.
They might have to max out Vucevic though.
They might, which is like
that's going to be a little problematic.
He's not a max player though.
He's not, and they already gave Aaron Gordon a big contract too.
Well, so. their point guard next year is probably going to be Fultz, no?
Yeah, I mean,
I actually forgot about him.
It has to be because you need to try that out.
Like,
you kind of made that trade.
Now,
for
whether
or
not that works, that's another story. But I almost feel like they have to try.
They
it
have
out
to try. Yeah,
he ain't gonna be a better shooter.
If his shoulder is holding up, I think he's okay. But other than that,
that's a big if at this.
I have a feeling the change of scenery can be good for him.
Yeah.
And if it is and Orlando gets a win there, that's huge. But
that would be nice for them.
We got to see it. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
What have you? Because you talked a lot about the series in the East. You brought up Houston. What have you thought about the Western Conference? I find the Trailblazers and OKC Thunder series to be very entertaining.
Yeah, 100%.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it is safe to say Damian Lillard is a tie for the second best point guard in the NBA. I got Steph de facto number one. I don't consider James Harden a point guard. He's kind of just a guard running amok out there. I got him and Kyrie tied for number 2. I got Russ moved down to number 3 or number 4 after the season.
You said Kyrie number 2.
Yeah, Kyrie. I mean, I just think Kyrie's a killer.
No, I know, because I know why you're looking at me.
Brother, I'm with you. But this guy.
Oh, you're low on
Kyrie,
know this
ain't
guy.
You?
This guy right here.
Man.
My co-host, he would not agree with that. Let's just put it like that.
No, I mean, I think it's a close.
Why are you smiling?
Why would I not smile? I'm happy. It's Easter. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a good mood.
I thought you were going to be grilling me now like, Dexter, what are you doing?
Do I need to get into the Kyrie Irving thing?
No, we don't need to get into that.
We don't have to do that.
Kyrie Irving is great.
Yeah.
I just think that people put him on a little bit too high of a pedestal.
No, I mean, he obviously has shortcomings to his game. I think he over dribbles. You know what I'm saying? I think he takes some shots that he probably shouldn't, but he also makes some of the shots that he shouldn't take.
Not necessarily that. I just don't think that. I think the perception is that he's so much better than some of these other dudes like Damian Lillard and Kemba Walker, when I don't think that's the case.
I mean, I think I like Kemba a lot. I think Kemba gives up a lot of size, and I think that size is where Kyrie Irving has an advantage. Also, we've seen Kyrie be proven, and Kemba hasn't made the playoffs.
I've made that argument
many times.
You've made that argument, but I've also said, given the same situation,
Kemba would.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying is that I think that he would thrive in those situations too.
He would. Kemba definitely would.
I think Kemba's shown he can make clutch shots.
With
100%.
With 95% of people in life, it's about situations.
100%.
It's about roles.
Absolutely.
100%.
And Kemba has had Jeremy Lamb as his second best
Nick
player.
Batum,
as his second best player.
Nick Batum.
Space, which is terrible.
And Kyrie Irving's had LeBron James.
That's true. And he's doing it now. He's played well.
We'll see.
So he almost carried Charlotte to the playoffs. I'm not doing this again.
So you we're not. So you like Dame as ahead of Kyrie now?
I don't know. I was having this argument with somebody over
which I might be fine with that. I might be fine with that.
I love Kyrie stylistically just because I'm like a fan of handles. You know what I'm saying? I love someone who can break somebody's ankles and then hit a 3 to win a game.
Smooth, man.
Dame does that too, and he doesn't need the ball.
Not Kyrie, but
Dame doesn't need the ball all the time. You know, so he can give the ball up and then run around screens. You know, I might be swaying towards Dame, but I love Kyrie. I love his game. He hit that shot.
Well, my issue with Kyrie also is that because we were talking about just sort of how he's going to be in the future and like all these injuries.
Yeah,
I'm just a little concerned on that end also.
Whereas
Kemba Walker played 82 games this season.
Yeah. Are you going to sit back like that? He's like, Kemba Walker played 82 games this season.
I'm just saying.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying. Like,
Kyrie's also younger than Dame by a lot. Kyrie's 25.
I'm just leaning back because, like, you know what I'm saying? I
like that. I respected it.
4.5 hours of sleep. I just need some, you know.
Nobody cares about you tired. You got to show up here and perform.
I perform every day.
There you go. That's how I like that attitude.
In the media room, you know what I'm saying? In the video game room.
I don't know about
bedroom.
Oh, you said you don't know about that?
I don't know about anything he just said. He went on a tangent just now.
Did you say bedroom?
Yeah, he said bedroom. We ain't need to know. It's Easter Sundays, man. Show us that.
It's Monday now.
I did not need that kind of resurrection. At all. We need not to resurrect.
Wait, what was you saying that you don't know about me room? What?
Oh, no.
Yo, it's about to be beef up in here.
Ain't no beef in here. I don't know what type of work nobody do in the media room, bro. I just do my own. I stay in my lane, keep it pushing.
Yo, y'all just be eating in the media room.
Yeah, nah. Oh, they had some good food in there yesterday. They had some steak.
Yo, you don't be doing no kind of work in the media room. Let me find out.
You could find out very easily.
At the time we were recording this, and there will be a game 4 when we're recording this, Portland needs 2-1.
Yeah.
Could be 2-2 by the time we're recording this.
Got you.
Let's say that OKC loses this series. All right?
Oh, man.
They're going to.
I believe they will,
Did you pick them when we did our playoff predictions? Did you pick that?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. I picked them in 7.
I think I picked OKC in 6.
I had OKC going to the conference finals.
So you did.
Portland's playing a lot better than I thought they would. I had them going to the conference finals too.
Yeah.
So let's say they don't. That doesn't happen. Let's say they lose in this round.
Mm-hmm.
how big of a problem is that in OKC? What can they do? This team clearly lacks shooting.
Yeah, that's the first thing I would say
What
they need to do.
What do they do here?
They need to get some shooters. I think they need to be healthy. I think Paul George has been dealing with a shoulder injury that he doesn't want to admit has been affecting his game, and it's clear that it's been affecting his game. I think Russ has to play better. He had a good game 3, but I think he just needs to be more efficient. He's taking shots and he's not making them, and he's never been the efficient type of guy.
Right, but when he was in game 3, was he 11 for 22?
Yeah, he had. That's the type
efficient.
Of game you would like to have from Russ on a consistent basis, but you don't get that consistently. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep Dennis Schroeder because he's going to get I think he got traded off of I don't know how much he was making, somewhere maybe 10, 20, somewhere between 10 and 20 million he was making, and they're not going to be able to keep him. So how are you going to replace that? You're going to bring Raymond Felton back for another year? No. They're going to have some holes to fill. I think this was their year. I don't know how they get better from here, right? How do you replace Dennis Schroeder? Because you're not going to be able to bring back someone who does what he does, and he's going to get a contract. You need more shooters, right? And you're going to get Andre Roberson back, but he's never been really a shooter.
Right.
You're going to lose Keith Morris this year because he's going to sign somewhere else at the end of this year. So it's just like I feel like this was their chance, but in a way I don't know what they do from here.
You would hope.
I think it's a good question.
I know you would hope that Terrence Ferguson and Hamidou Diallo get better and guys like that, but I mean, how much is that really going to help you? See, what's going to help them is just addition by subtraction. Golden State is probably not going to be the same next year. Mm-hmm. DeMarcus Cousins may be back on that team.
I think he will be.
But we don't know what's going to happen with that. And then Kevin Durant, seems like he's going to go, and you never know about Draymond Green. I still feel like he can get traded at any moment in the offseason. I feel like that's something that could happen. And
Denver's going to be better. I feel Denver's going to be a team that gets better over the years.
Oklahoma City, you just have to – I don't know if they're going to sign anybody, maybe some nice role players, but really, we'll see what happens in the draft. And
Oklahoma City has 2 players, and they have to put pieces around those 2 players that they really can't get. Yeah, I don't know if they can get.
Here's the thing with those 2 pieces. I mean, one of those pieces, like –
I don't know what you're talking about.
we talk about Russell Westbrook's game a lot in this podcast,
yeah.
And it's kind of one of the worst shooters ever by volume.
And he's not going to get any better. That's the worst part. He's getting older.
He's not going to get more athletic.
Nah,
he's not.
He's not going to be Steph Curry.
This is it. Right? So he needs Paul George to do what he was doing in the first half of the season this year when he was my MVP before the injury.
And to give credit to Westbrook, which I have this season.
He's deferred to
him.
This is his best season as a passer this year.
It has. 100%. I agree.
But now what do you do?
But I think if he plays what Kristian was saying earlier, which is that under control, and he can become more efficient, and he defers more to Paul George, which I do think is possible.
You think he could become more under control?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Yeah, he's getting older.
He's getting older. I believe that people evolve and they can age. Some people can as they get older, and games can evolve. Now, the athleticism dependency is the thing I worry about, and I do think it's a fair point. And that's also kind of part of your evolution and seeing the game as well, too.
I still think that even if that is the form of Russell Westbrook that we get next year or maybe even the year after, I don't think it's enough. Just him and Paul George and shooters around you.
Would you trade Russell Westbrook?
No one's taking that contract. No one's taking. You can't trade. As soon as you gave Russell Westbrook that contract, you knew that this is what you had.
Unless you find a team that's desperate for a star.
Send him to L.A. Send him to the Lakers. Why not?
They're desperate.
Jesus Christ.
Imagine LeBron and mini LeBron out there. That would be worst case scenario. Imagine putting those two out there.
Worst case scenario for who? I would love that.
Oh, no.
Just to watch?
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch. I don't know if they'd win any games.
Oh, I don't care.
I don't know.
I'm not in the business of Los Angeles winning games.
Has anything surprised you this first round of playoffs before we get out the playoffs?
Regular season, I was surprised by Sacramento. I didn't expect them to be that good. I didn't expect them to try to eventually fire their head coach.
That's
for having a really good season.
I'm more surprised
I didn't expect that at all.
They want to be bad.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Hashtag save De'Aaron Fox. We're thinking of you.
I think the Kings are in a good position. I think 2 years they'll be a playoff staple for the next couple years.
I mean, I didn't like them firing the coach, but I did like the fact
I like their
playoff staple. Playoff staple where? Like the 8th seed?
No, I mean you add one stud, like you put Tobias Harris in Sacramento.
You think he?
I don't think he's going there, but I think they need that type of player.
You know what's crazy though? That would be a good.
That would be amazing. Yes.
Even though they got Harrison Barnes, depends on whether he opts out of his deal.
He's opting in. He's not getting $23 million from anywhere else. He's not getting that anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
They can play together, 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Where are you playing Bagley?
Play Bagley at the 5. That's it.
He played better at the 5 as the season went along. I did not like him there in the beginning.
I like Bagley as a 5. I like that. But you get that wing. The Kings kind of need the same type of player that the Nets need. We need somebody in that combo forward spot. The Nets, I don't know, man. I don't know if there's anyone. I don't know if there's anyone that the Nets are going to be able to realistically sign this year that is going to be the piece they need to get them where they need to go.
I think Kawhi Leonard. We were just talking about this, so
man. I don't think that's realistic.
I think Kawhi Leonard is signing in Toronto, most likely. I have that as the
I haven't
first
gone to
option.
the Clippers.
Second Clippers and third would be Brooklyn, but I think he's more likely to stay in Toronto.
Okay.
And I think that because I think they're going to go to the championship this year. And if I'm him, I'm like,
Milwaukee.
I'm not leaving.
I don't see them beating Giannis.
I think they
Bucks,
could,
man.
but regardless, I think he would stay.
Yeah,
like I think he should. Why not?
They have to beat the Sixers first.
And then with Kevin Durant, I mean, I don't think he's going to the Clippers. To me, it's either the Knicks or Brooklyn.
I think he's going.
And
to
I'm
the Knicks.
I'm still not ruling out him staying in Golden State for some odd reason, but I think that it's either going to be the Knicks or Brooklyn.
I think I read somewhere that
a lot of
he's going
people,
to the Lakers.
A lot of people,
I don't see that.
A lot of people are saying that.
I don't see Lakers.
I've read.
You don't see that?
I've read that in a couple places
Yeah,
too. I'm not too worried about that. What's it called? What's it called?
You don't believe those sources?
So Kevin Durant. Anyway, Kevin
How
Durant.
are you not laughing?
Hold on, Kevin Durant. So
I like the Christian knew exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man,
you don't gotta say anything. All right, so
I wasn't saying any names.
So Kevin Durant going to the Knicks or the Nets, I think is probably most likely. I hear a lot of people saying Knicks, and that's always weird to me. You know what I mean? That's always just weird.
I feel like it's been a foregone conclusion. I feel like we've tried to make his mind up for him.
But too much of a foregone conclusion. It's like when Timmy Turner on the Fairly Odd Parents used to say, "It's too quiet here," and it's just mad weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's also weird because people are like, well,
was it Timmy Turner or Jimmy Neutron?
What's the... I don't know any cartoon references.
My man got
no
cartoons on deck right now.
No.
Yeah, man. I got layers, bro.
Yeah, yes.
Layers. I'm a man
actually?
I'm a man of many interests.
Did you say interests?
Yes, interests.
That's a new one.
I can't say interests. It sounds
you
weird.
Can. You
so
just
I
did.
say interests.
You can. You just said it.
It sounds weird. I don't like the way I say it.
You can be grammatically correct.
Man.
I could, yeah.
You
This is
cannot make
cute.
it
Y'all
worse.
going back and forth.
Interests.
No, it's not going back
Happy
and forth.
Easter.
This is what we do.
Yeah. Anyway.
Interests. Anyway.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying.
Intricacies.
We were talking about interesting teams in the playoffs, I think, and then
we were talking about free agency also.
Well, let's jump to free agency for a second.
Yeah, so Kevin Durant's going to the Knicks.
Right.
When we talk about the fake foregone conclusion.
Well, you were saying you don't know what the Nets are going to do, and it's like if you're not. See, I don't think they need to do anything crazy. If you're not getting Kevin Durant, which it's possible. Yeah. Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard are going to be possible. Yeah. I wouldn't call them likely, just out of
on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely do you is that they get a meeting with Brooklyn?
Oh,
a meeting,
a high.
Like, is it 10? Are you 100% like? Would you be shocked if Kevin Durant didn't meet with Brooklyn?
Yeah, because if you're him, why? Like, what situations are definitively better, right?
Right.
So the Knicks are starting from scratch, which could be good, could be bad, depending on your outlook.
I think a lot of it depends on where the Knicks are picking.
The Clippers have
a chance to get Zion. That changes that.
You get Zion,
that changes
KD,
depending on how he feels about Zion.
Kawhi,
I don't know.
Kyrie,
some of these players are weird. Some of these players think Kobe's the greatest of all time, and they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. Like maybe he likes John Morant or RJ Barrett more. I don't know. I don't know what Kevin Durant thinks.
But here's the thing: if the Knicks have the number 1 pick and then they have a meeting with him, or they get found out through some back channel stuff, he could be telling them like, "Yo, you need to pick John Morant."
No, he'd be saying you need to draft Zion right now because he's going to go there with Kyrie.
I think so too. I'm just like, yo, I'm not underestimating what some of these dudes think.
All I'm saying is, if the
what if they want to parlay that into a trade for Anthony Davis?
That's possible too.
That is also possible.
But what I'm saying is,
who would you rather have the next 5 years, Zion or Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if the Knicks have the number
Davis
1 pick,
sure.
what I'm saying is it makes them very attractive. That's when I start to build more steam in believing that the Knicks are very attractive.
Yeah.
Right? Because
you're building steam now.
Yeah, I don't know what that's mean. Yeah, because I have no momentum towards this. You've asked me this before. Am I excited? I'm a Knicks fan. Am I excited?
The lottery is the biggest day this year.
It is. I think you guys are going to get the number 1 pick. I feel like the draft lottery will be. I won't say rigged, but I think it's about. I think it's about time that y'all get a number 1.
Somebody
pick.
said to me last night. I was at an event and they were like, "I've always thought the draft lottery was rigged, and if the Knicks don't get the number 1 pick, then I will stop believing that.
Wow.
Basically,
Why? If I'm the NBA, I'm rigging it for Atlanta.
No, you wouldn't do that. You would rig it for the Knicks.
Trey Young, John Collins, Zion. What?
No, you're rigging it for the
would you
Knicks
not
to
rig
bring
it for
them
the
to make
biggest
them
market?
relevant right now.
Because they ain't got nothing else.
Well, they will have everything else. They'll have Zion, they'll have KD,
space.
and they'll have
You have
motherfucking
Zion,
Kyrie.
space.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm the NBA and I know they're getting Kevin Durant and Kawhi, Kevin Durant and Kyrie, then yeah, I'll rig it for them. Hell yeah.
You got to.
But if I don't know, then I'm rigging it for Atlanta.
No, you're not. Nobody's rigging anything for Atlanta.
Yeah,
Nobody's doing
that's
that.
not happening.
All right.
You wouldn't
Now
want,
they might win it by
you
accident.
wouldn't want Zion in the biggest market?
You remember that when hurricane season, you got to go down to Atlanta
what?
and cover a storm.
Why?
People are going to be coming for you.
No, they won't.
They listen to this podcast.
No, they won't. They should be worried about the hurricane not being a storm in my life. They should be okay. They're not going to be fine. They're not going to worry about me.
my
Quavo
God.
coming for you.
Quavo.
No, he's
Quavo
not.
was definitely at the game last night.
No, he's
He
not.
was.
funny as
Apparently
hell.
he was.
I was like, that's random. Why are you up here?
So what?
Not Amigos fan.
So Brian is saying, to go back to something Brian is saying. Brian is saying that
I'm saying a lot of
the Nets situation should be maybe more attractive than people are probably giving him credit for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I actually agree with him.
Sure.
And I think that people are probably sleeping on that because the
I don't
Nets-
think. No. Let's stop that right now.
I don't think this.
I don't think
think people
people-
understand
who
what the
talks
hell
about
Brooklyn
that?
is doing.
No,
But who
he-
talks about it in the media?
It's
The
happening
jump
now.
has been
It's
leading
happening.
with the Nets a lot. I think.
Yeah.
Look, I think the Nets are almost getting too much national coverage.
You're getting
at some
no.
point.
The Nets fan base on Twitter is going to be
No.
so hyped
It's
when
like
we come-
crazy. It's like crazy
man.
because like a lot of people are saying that the Nets are being disrespected, this and that, and they maybe my NBA officials, sure, that's a whole different thing.
Right.
But in terms of the coverage, no, they're getting the coverage now.
The
Man.
Nets are definitely getting coverage.
They're getting the coverage is there.
Well,
It's
but
come with
Everyone
wins,
is
to be
latched
honest.
on and wrote the same feel good story
About
over
how
and
they
over
come
and
up.
over and over again.
Right, but-
every outlet has
But
done it
here's the
now.
thing.
We're
Here's the
there.
thing.
We understand.
You're talking about the story of their come up, right?
And how it leads into free agency and how
Right.
they can get a big star like a Kevin Durant or Kawhi
However-
Leonard.
and they still might strike out.
And,
to be
and this
honest.
kind of goes on both things. So we can take the Nets and we can take the Clippers with this. Okay.
Yeah.
How much of it of the old, and I'm going to call it old school thinking, that, oh man, they're not going to be able to do it because they're not the number one team in town. They don't have the Clippers don't have the cachet of the Lakers. And the Nets don't have the cachet of the Knicks, even though the Knicks recently don't have a lot of stuff that you should sit there and be like, yo, this is a team that you should look up to, right? And I can say as a Knicks fan, but how much of that narrative do you think plays with the players?
I think
meetings?
players are starting to understand, or they're starting to pay more attention to like organizational dysfunction, right?
I
and you
agree.
look at what's going on in New York and what has been going on there for a long time. You look at what the Lakers just have Magic Johnson
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
quit in the public eye out of nowhere.
I think with the Knicks is different now.
Now, because Scott and
Scott Perry.
Steve.
We've said that with
Yeah.
Scott Perry,
the
with
culture
Fizdale.
seems to be changing.
Yeah.
for sure,
which is
100%.
why I think they're going to be in play for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, but and I'm gonna let you finish your point. But yes, what you were saying about the
Yeah,
players
no,
not looking
teams
at
are
culture.
understanding that, and they want to. I feel like players want to be a part of something, you know. And when you go to a place like Brooklyn, or you go to a place like the Clippers, and you see what they're doing, you're getting sold on being a part of this culture and being a part of this organization. That goes a long way, and players understand that. The players talk too. When Kristaps left New York, he was texting players like, "Hey, you don't want to go there." I don't know if they're going to listen to him, but players talk about these things, and you don't really have anything bad to say about Brooklyn. You really don't have anything bad to say about Doc Rivers and the Clippers either.
That's good.
That's true.
No,
That's true.
All good points. So we've asked a couple of people to come on here, even like early in the season, like where we think people are going to go.
Okay.
Gun to your head right now. Where do you think KD ends up?
KD ends up in the Knicks. Kyrie also ends up on the Knicks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless the Celtics win it all, then Kyrie re-signs and then they trade for AD, I think.
Oh boy.
What do you think the
Well,
net?
why is it gun to the head, not knife to the throat?
Wow.
I don't know. That's a great question.
I just asked these questions.
Is it always
I
knife
feel-
to the throat? And now
but
it's
I feel like
gun
knife to the
head
throat
out
is
of
going
nowhere?
to end up messier potentially.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I think that's why people don't
That's
want
why
that.
you should answer my question. Knife to the throat. Like that would be more forceful than gun to the head. What if the gun is jammed? Anyway, so yeah,
It's
I
quicker,
have
though.
this guy
yeah,
here.
But yeah,
I
that's the reason.
I think
I see where your
I
mind
think
is at.
gun to the head or knife.
Violence.
I think gun to the head or knife to the throat. I'm gonna agree.
Yeah.
That Kyrie. If I had to guess, I would say Kyrie and KD end up with the Knicks together.
Yeah.
I'm still not getting excited about you guys saying this, but okay.
But you
should.
But it's just I'm not. Like if I had to bet, that's what I would bet on. But I'm
Right.
not betting on it.
I understand.
Just because
Yeah, I get it.
I'm not discounting like
Um,
KD. If I had to power rank what I think he's gonna do, top 3, Knicks 1, Nets 1A or 2, because it's very close in my opinion, and then Golden State 3.
Okay. Kawhi.
Clippers.
Then
And I
that's
went with
done.
the Clippers.
All
I don't think he's staying in Toronto. I think he
think
wants to
he's-
go home.
No
I
matter
think he's
what
gonna
happens,
stay.
what if Toronto goes to the
If
finals?
Toronto goes to the finals and wins, I think he'll stay. If they lose in the finals, I'm leaving. Well, no, I don't know. I think a lot of these things depend on their season. If Toronto makes the NBA Finals, I'll give it a tie between staying in Toronto and going to the Clippers. But I think any other outcome, he's going to the Clippers.
I could think he stays.
So you think he stays?
Yeah.
You also have so you think KD's gone. So if KD's gone, Clay resigns with Golden State?
Clay resigns, yes.
Which is Jimmy Butler.
I think he resigns in Philadelphia long term. And Tobias.
Really?
I think they keep both of them together. And
you think they'll keep both, huh?
Yeah, I think they're going to keep those four together because they're just now getting it together now, right? I think we saw the press conference.
Damn,
you see how close Jimmy Butler
right.
is to Olympic. You're not breaking that up.
No, I know, I agree, and
they like Tobias there. So.
Damn, it's just like with Philly. I'm like, I would want to add some depth there. It's going to be hard to do that.
I mean, stars win this league.
You want to choose one of the two over.
No, I want to keep both, but it's like. You have to try to see if they would take a little bit less than what they can get at market value.
Yeah,
I mean, very little amount.
Like, yeah, I agree.
2-3 million less here.
I'll tell you, he's not taking less than market value. Jimmy Butler, he ain't doing that.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler wants his bag.
Why would Tobias Harris? Because this is his year to get paid.
This is his year to get paid.
I was looking at Jimmy's a little bit older, so I knew he's definitely not.
The ironic thing is that I think Tobias Harris going back to the Clippers would actually be good.
That would be hilarious.
It would.
That would actually be a good fit for him.
I don't think it's going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
I think there are going to be a lot of teams that give Tobias Harris a call.
I agree.
I think he's going to be one of these. He's going to get paid.
I agree.
You could put him in so many places. The way the NBA is going and where it is now,
perfect for it.
Yeah. Perfect for the four, which is why he'd actually be perfect fit for Brooklyn. I just don't know that if you add him there, if you're going to compete with some of those top teams. It depends on the development of D'Angelo Russell and Karis LeVert.
The Nets need, if you're going to sign a Maxwell, he has to be a killer, right? He has to be a guy that's going to go out there and win you ball games on his own. Tobias Harris is not that guy. You add Jimmy Butler, that's a killer. He doesn't play the position that I think we need.
The idea is that you would think if you're the Nets, you're hoping that D'Angelo Russell, assuming they keep him, becomes that guy.
Does D'Angelo Russell listen to this podcast?
I don't think
I
so.
doubt it.
I don't know if he's going to be that guy, bro.
I don't think he.
Well, you think if he did, you weren't going to say it.
That'll probably get back to him.
I don't know if he's going. I hope he develops into the killer that the Nets need him to be. Put it that way. But
so I guess that leads me to.
I didn't say that.
No. But
I'm just letting y'all know.
I hope he develops into the killer that the Nets
Kristian,
need
that's
him
fine.
To be.
And I would ask you another question. With that being said, because what Net fans want to know is, then would you invest the money and re-sign him? Or based on what you just said,
right? Yeah. Or would you rather sign? Or would you rather? If you feel like you could upgrade at the position with a Kemba or a Kyrie, would you do it?
No, because just financially, if you let D'Angelo Russell go, whoever you sign next, you still can. Like if you keep D'Angelo Russell, you can add a max free agent. If you replace him with somebody else, you can't, right? Because the salary cap allows you to exceed the salary cap to re-sign your own free agents or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think at this point, you've invested in him. At this point, you have to continue to invest. I don't know if you give him the Devin Booker contract. I don't think he's getting that. What's realistic? 4 years, $100 million. 4 years, $80 million. Something in that ballpark, right?
It's gonna be more than 80.
Yeah, probably. 4 years, $100 million.
The way I'm looking at it,
would be a nice bargain.
If I'm him, if I'm D'Angelo Russell,
you want the max if you're him,
right? If I'm him, I'm like, you're not paying me less than you offered Otto Porter. Get out of here. You know what I mean? Like they ordered. Was Otto Porter $107 million to an offer sheet, and I did all this for you this season.
If I'm 120, because it's a 4-year deal they're going to give him. They gave him a 4-year extension.
Whatever it is, like it's just like, yo, I am not taking less than Otto Porter. If I'm D'Angelo Russell, I'm like, I am not. Well, we ain't got. You know what I'm saying?
But where do you think that all that you said all this, and then I think the last main guy could talk about Kemba.
The Kemba's tough because I love Kemba. I love his game.
Brian wants him in Brooklyn.
That's not what. No, I don't. I don't know about. They need to keep the. You're laughing because you know that's you know where I want him to go.
I think we can see Kemba in LA. I can see Kemba on either LA team.
You're a jerk.
I could see Kemba in New York if they strike out.
That one.
If they strike out, hold on, that's a good option for them.
Yeah,
they have Dennis Smith Jr. though, so which is why the whole Kyrie thing is interesting to me also. Like you don't. I mean, I know you're not the biggest Dennis Smith Jr. fan. Do you
I
like
would
him,
love
a little more now?
I would love Kemba in Indiana.
That's what I was thinking.
Indiana's a very good spot for him. I don't know if it's the right city.
That's what I said before. That's what I told you. I think a few episodes ago.
Kemba and Vic would be a very good 2-man lineup.
Also, the Clippers.
Yeah, I can see him on either LA team.
He could play with Shea.
Yeah, I can see him in either.
He can play with Shea. Patrick Beverly could stay there
off the bench. Yep.
Yeah.
Where do I'm trying to think what else that's left because all we talked about in your predictions that leaves the Lakers not getting anybody of significance.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody wants to play with LeBron. I'm sorry.
I think
at that time.
I think Klay Thompson could go there.
He could. I don't think he will. I don't think you leave Steph.
I'm not betting on.
I don't think you leave Steph to play with LeBron.
I don't think so either.
I mean, I don't think you do, but listen.
DeMarcus Cousins, especially now with the injury.
I think he re-signs in Golden State. It makes sense because they wouldn't have been able to keep him because he had a higher market.
Do you think he gets a multi-year deal or another 1 year deal?
I think he gets maybe a 2-year,
$10
million deal.
Or player option, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't. It's tough. It's such a tough draw for him, man. And after the year he had to go out like that,
sucks.
So terrible.
Last thing. I guess what happens in the AD situation? Yeah, it's tough to call. Like, is Boston gonna do?
Yes.
I hope they do.
You think it's gonna happen?
I think
Boston
do.
I think
even if Kyrie leaves, which you predicted.
I think Kyrie leaving hinges on Boston's trade for AD. I think if they trade for AD, Kyrie stays. He's not going anywhere. If they get Anthony Davis, I'm keeping my black ass right there.
The way that
anybody else,
you don't want to put your black ass in Boston.
Nah, maybe not.
Nah, but
the way that Danny Ainge. Hi, Boston. I love you guys. The way that Danny Ainge.
Shout out to my Boston girls.
But the way Danny Ainge, it's been reported that he's coveted Anthony Davis for so long. He has to make this move at some point.
Definitely does.
Now, if I'm Anthony Davis, am I happy about that? I don't know. But
well, here's the thing: we gotta, and I'm not gonna take
and Kyrie. That's another thing too. I'm not like Kyrie could stay in Boston. I'm just not betting on that, man.
I heard how
I'm not ignoring Kyrie Irving going to the Lakers. By the way,
yes, you have
that
all
would be crazy.
He's been about this for months.
I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist sometimes.
You think they planned this? You think he requested?
No, not that. No, I'm not going. I'm not going that far back. But I could see how because they've.
I'll tell you what,
they've patched things up, and look, I could see Kyrie and LeBron meeting and then just boom, like yo, let's try this again, man.
I'll tell you what,
let's try this again.
I'm here for it. I'd like it.
A new daily fantasy app for prop bets is here, and it's called Thrive Fantasy. Forget the old school way of DFS. Thrive Fantasy has streamlined the drafting process and eliminated the need to do unnecessary hours of research by using only top-tier athletes. That means no more salary cap. You just build your lineup around a list of prop bets. Here's how it works. For each contest, you choose 10 of the 20 prop bets, plus 2 ice picks that protect you from any late scratches or postponed games. Each unique prop has an over and under point value assigned to it, and you will be rewarded that value if the prop is correct. So for example, if Tom Brady throws for over or under 250 yards, the less likely the prop is to occur, the more points the choice will be worth. You build your team score around the amount of correct prop bets you select. It's easy to play, so just check out the Thrive Fantasy link in the description of this podcast and get in the game with Thrive Fantasy today.
Mr. Winfield, one thing for people who follow you,
yes,
and they follow you on Twitter, one thing they will notice about you is you have the appearance that you got some skills in the kitchen.
The appearance? Oh no! That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. Watch your toe.
Look,
watch
man,
your toe. The appearance that I got skills in the kitchen. No.
I'm not saying you do or you don't.
Oh, that is.
I'm
funny.
saying that there's a lot of people, as we know, out here on the internet posing. Sometimes we see people fabricating
we're not posing.
Stories. We see people fabricating, food they might be cooking. I don't know. So I'm just asking you to put the real to it.
Dirty like
Why you laughing, Brian? Don't laugh.
You gotta stop doing something dirty.
Don't.
Oh my God.
I ain't doing nobody dirty. They're doing it themselves. So I'm just saying, I don't know. You have shown the appearance that you throw down in the kitchen.
I do throw down in the kitchen.
That is a fact. Let me validate here and saying when I see the food,
there you go.
It looks good to me, and I'm like, yo, I would taste the food.
There you go. You mean you would buy a plate? There you
Absolutely. Go. Yo, that's the most respect you can say to somebody, right? You would buy a plate. So you seem to be somebody who likes to dabble in the culinary skills in the kitchen.
I actually just got my food handling permit.
Oh,
I've just been showing that to everybody.
I like that. You know what? I like that you passed. This is almost the same as Brian talking about the trophies that he has.
Yeah,
that I just was able to see that do exist. For the listeners and viewers out here, Brian talked about his trophies.
2012 track MVP.
They exist. I saw it in his crib. They're in a nice case,
Word.
well protected.
And there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
You saw a medal for archery.
How many would you guess?
Yo, there was probably like I'd say close to 20.
Oh,
am I bugging on that? I kind of just glanced at it, but
there's a little more than that.
Maybe like between 20 and 30.
A little more than that.
Do you like take them out of the trophy case and sleep with them at night?
Nah.
So wait, hold on.
I leave them
bathe with them.
I leave them.
So
I'd bathe with them if I could.
Could you explain this to us? Because this is a qualifying certificate in food protection.
Yeah, basically, so anyone who works with food has to know, what's safe and not safe to be serving it to people, right? So you have to know what temperature you can keep it in. If you keep food out for longer than 2 hours, anywhere between 40 degrees and 140 degrees, bacteria will double every 20 to 30 minutes. That's a lot of bacteria that's doubling over time, and those are just some things.
So why did you need this card?
Just because I enjoy cooking. Yes, Gerard.
All right, cool.
Now everybody's got all this information out there.
Middle names are a fun thing. Yeah,
so because you enjoy cooking?
Yeah, I enjoy cooking. People ask me to cater, and I've catered a couple times. But legally, if you want to cater for somebody, you have to have that on you. Oh. So there's that. I want to do like different little food festivals on the side because obviously journalism is a good field, but we all know it doesn't pay all the bills that you need it to pay.
Don't get me started. You go back and listen to episodes 1 through 75 or whatever episode we're on right now. This is 76. Yeah, 1 through 75. We talked about this extensively.
Many times. So that's kind of your passion.
Yeah, side hustle passion. I've catered for a couple people. I am planning to do like a little pop up at a festival in Virginia. I'm trying to I will be doing a food truck for Hampton Homecoming. So if anybody's out there, pull up. Chris and Chips. But yeah, no.
What's gonna be the name of your food truck?
It's Chris and Chips. That's the name of the business.
Okay.
I did all the paperwork for that and everything.
Nice.
So yeah, no, that's like my passion / side hustle. I learned how to cook watching my mom's growing up. Took that, ran with it. When I was away in college, I had to do little fish fries to pay for rent because I wanted to move off campus. So after that, I was like, fuck it, why not? Let's just see, let's make it pop. And
so what's your favorite thing to cook? Like what do you love cooking?
So I did Chris and Chips because it's a play on fish and chips. So I make really good fish and chips. I do like fish tacos. I do chips and guac. I do all types of stuff. But I also meal prep for people who work out a lot, right? So if you're trying to cut weight, because I lost 80 pounds when I had to because I was really fat at one point. I was like, I'm not going to do this no more. So like people who want to lose weight, I make little quinoa bowls. I do salads. I do all types of stuff. If you go on my Instagram at Chris and Chips NYC, you see everything on there. We've been going live last couple months, so it's kind of cool just to see everything starting to come together.
That's
now.
Dope, man.
Sounds more fun than journalism sometimes.
It is more fun than journalism.
Hey,
but
there you go.
You're also like at these games talking to people, having a ball in Barclays and Madison Square Garden, writing stories. I enjoy that too. So I also have student loans out for that, so I'm not going to waste that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to waste that.
We understand that. Now, we talked, we were kind of joking, but we're going to get into something else about food. But in the beginning, we talked to you about, people being frauds. There is
Y'all not gonna let this die.
No. It's not even that. No, wait.
Shut up.
Hold on. First of all, it's a lot of people.
Yeah, we're not talking.
Oh,
it's a lot. No. It is a lot of people.
There are a lot of people.
Hold on. You're on Twitter, right?
Yes.
It is a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm not coming.
And it defeats the purpose to mention them by name because they want you to mention them by name.
Man. Shout out to my guys, yeah.
What I will say.
Your guys.
What I will say.
Not really.
Yeah, what I will say. I'm not going to say those are my guys.
Not my guys.
But what I will say is there's a Instagram account which you might be familiar with. Cooking for Bae.
Yeah.
You know Cooking for
What
Bae?
the hell?
You don't know about Cooking for Bae?
Oh, man. That's funny as hell.
Beyonce or just Bae?
Like
for
Bae,
Bae,
B-A-E. Like, that's my Bae?
That's funny, yeah.
Yo, so you know about that site?
I don't follow them.
Not follow them. I do.
I've heard of them.
I do
Follow them?
for the laughs.
What is it? What is it?
Basically what it is people who think they're out there doing it. And I'm sure Kristian is going to be like, they're not doing it.
Yeah, nah.
They're the worst dishes you will ever see. You were like, why would anybody prepare this for somebody?
Oh.
But people are doing this.
Okay.
So, and people, but look, I will also say this too. Maybe you could back
where they make steak and it's like a hot dog or something like that.
Let's say everybody here. Have you ever been on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and you've seen somebody post some food and you're like, you serve that?
I could do you one better. I had this was in college. I had a little girl I was dating at that time. She cooked for me on my birthday. And I had to eat it, right?
You did it.
I ate the food. I was like, all right, I eat this. But I was like, oh.
What was it?
It was steak and potatoes, right? And some type of veggie. She's going to watch this
podcast. She'll be like, damn.
She's not going to watch this podcast. We not on the best terms right now. But
that still means she might be watching this podcast.
Well, because
she's probably checking for you. You know what I'm saying?
Are you not on the best of terms with her because she cooked that food?
Oh, no. I'm a little more trifling than that, unfortunately.
Wow. All right. This has been a highly problematic episode of the But
Yeah, I've been in that situation where people have cooked thinking they shit is fire and it's not. And
it's not.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
It's tough to actually look them in the eye and crush their dreams like that. But sometimes
I've been in that same spot with somebody I was with. I'm not going to talk about that on this podcast. I will talk about this off that.
Oh, man.
I was in the same spot Kristian was.
Yeah.
Somebody cooked something and they thought it was dope. And
I've been in the reverse. I made something. I'll never forget this. I made like a coconut curry for a party that we had. Yeah, but like the guys that were eating it, they didn't eat any meat. So I had to do like a coconut curry veggie dish. And when you cook with meat, it has that own flavor that it adds to it. And when you take that out of it, it's missing that flavor. And I had forgotten to account for the fact that there was no meat in it. And they were like, yo, this is kind of dry, bro. Kind of hurt my heart. Damn. This is a couple years ago, though, before I like started like picking up cooking for other people. But that kind of, it's not a good feeling when someone tells you your shit is trash.
But the stuff, look, I'm saying this. The stuff.
No, that's a line right there.
It's
not a good feeling when someone tells you your shit is trash.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want somebody being like your article.
But I do think that more people need to tell other people that their shit is trash.
Yeah,
that's why 100%. That's why Cooking for Bay exists, and that's why I like it. Because you kind of get to laugh at those people and. You're like, yo, that's trash. Like, yo, maybe you shouldn't have put your foot out there. The thing I always see about you is when you make these pictures and you put your food out there, I'm like, yo, he knows about presentation.
Yeah, at the very least. People eat with their eyes first. People eat with their eyes at the very beginning.
And I noticed that.
People read with their eyes first, too.
Yeah, they should. Yeah. So I see the presentation. I'm like, yo, it appears, again, it appears like it's not whack.
You know, I'm going to treat the It Ain't Hard to Tell podcast to a plate.
Yo, next time I come on
here, I'll bring some food. I got you.
Chris and Chips up here so we can partake in that.
I got you.
And then we'll let the people know right on air if it's whack or not. If it's whack, we're going to tell you.
No, please do, but it ain't going to be whack.
I'll take a picture and put it on. I'll be like, Cooking for Bay. Here we go. All right.
We can do this over. We can do this over the summer.
Nah, I wouldn't do that, man.
Nah, it's not going to be whack.
Are there any plans? Because you're here in the NYC, are there any plans for your food truck to do stuff in NYC?
Not yet. Food trucks are pretty expensive, and then out here, there's so many different permits that you have to have just to operate a food truck in New York. But I mean, for right now, the plan is to pop up at different festivals across. Could be in New York, could be across the East Coast, could be across the country, and just like really start to get the word out there. Because I have an Instagram account, I have more followers than I'm following, obviously, but like
I gotta follow that. I don't follow you on that.
Yeah, no, I'll show it to you when you go. I'll plug it before we get out of here. But you know, I guess the plan for now is to develop my like I said, I meal prep for people, so to have more meal prep clients, and then to cater to more people. I have catering. I have 2 catering occasions in May coming up, so that's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to those. Yeah,
we need to get some food do's and don'ts.
Yeah. Oh man,
we were talking about this before we got on the air.
Are we talking about in terms of eating or cooking? Ooh, the food do's and don'ts.
Oh man,
whoa. You can do both.
Yeah. I mean, food do's and don'ts of any
What are your food do's and don'ts for everybody?
Oh man,
pineapple pizza.
Yeah, number one, don't put pineapple on your pizza. It's not cool. It does not taste good. If you like pineapple on your pizza, I'm judging you. Any y'all eat pineapple on your pizza? No.
All right, cool. Nobody in this room eats pineapple. No,
it's just not. It's not.
It's not a pizza. Don't look at me like that.
Yo, see the chemistry? I didn't even say anything. I asked him with my eyes, and he was just like, no.
Nah.
That's funny as hell.
Nah. Did you see
Chicago
recently?
deep dish?
Did you see recently people putting peeps on their pizza?
What's a peep?
Yo, it's like it's like an Easter candy. It's like the little birds that are like.
Why are they putting that on pizza?
They're kind of like marshmallow birds.
Oh
yeah.
No.
This was all over the news last week. Like people were doing it.
That's nasty.
Yeah, no, I would never do that. You don't disrespect pizza by adding something like sweet on it. Like you want your pizza to be good, and you put different types of.
What are your pizza toppings? Go to.
Automatically, I grew up eating pepperoni sausage all the time.
Pepperoni sausage.
I don't eat as much
like
pork
pepperoni.
as I used to.
Gotcha.
Right. So now I've been doing more so margarita pizzas. We were talking about that not too long ago. I like when they have pizzas and then they put like a nice little arugula salad on top.
Yeah,
that's delicious.
I like that too.
They have different ways of doing it. I love a nice, good plain slice. Grandma slice is always good.
Yeah.
If you go to Artichoke, you can get some fire.
Artichokes.
Some of them
I
are
still
really
have
rich.
to try artichoke.
Yeah, some of them are really rich.
Yo,
Artichoke is a really good spot to get pizza from.
Y'all got to do bison.
You're raving. This is like the 4th time I've heard you mention
bison on
pizza. Yeah,
bison.
I've done bison and chicken on the same personal platter.
That's a lot of protein.
Really good. Yeah.
I used to be a big fan of like buffalo chicken slices,
I can't
but
do
not
it no
as much
more.
anymore.
I can't do it no
really
more.
like
You've ever done a cheesesteak?
pizza?
No.
No, I can't say I've done that.
It's a lot of cheese.
Yeah, it's not great.
That doesn't sound like anything.
I mean, it's not as bad as like pineapples on the pizza, but
Pasta slice is good though.
I like a good green slice. I like a good white slice. Those two are.
You sound like you're a big pizza guy.
I do. Yeah, I love pizza. I can't eat it as much because I try to stay away from dairy. But like I have my cheat days, today was a cheat day. I went up the block and got a slice of pizza.
Yeah, you asked me if the place was good. I never
it actually wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad slice.
Now,
It was overpriced.
Now, what about because I know Brian wanted to ask. What about pizza from other places?
Chicago.
I haven't. I'm going to Chicago this summer to get to the bottom of this shit. Just because, like, I need to know if this Chicago people talk a lot of shit about their pizza. They talk so much shit.
Set up a food truck out there and only serve New York slices.
Well, they'll be so mad.
That'll be hilarious. They'll be so mad while they're giving up that money. It's gonna be a lot better than this. No, I'm going to Chicago.
Derrick Rose went for Chicago to New York.
I should ask him to tell me which pizza is better. You know what? That's a story. I'm going to call him.
That's a good story.
Yeah,
you need to credit Brian with that idea.
You know what? Here we go. I'll give you.
There you go.
Hat tip.
Yeah.
Hey,
tip Brian Fonseca.
So we were talking about this before we came on, and Chicago with the deep dish pizza, and you're right about. I don't know which two of you just said.
It's like a tomato cheese soup in a bread bowl.
I've never had it. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
But I don't remember which two of you just said this. But somebody said Chicago people are really serious about their pizza.
Yeah, they are.
And it's
Supposedly
true because when I've had conversations with people from Chicago about it, they're always like, "Your deep dish is better. New York style pizza is whack. It's too thick." I'm like, I don't want to eat my pizza with a fork.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all over here sipping your pizza.
Wait,
with a
they eat it with a fork?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, because
I refuse. I'm not doing that.
It's like the way I look at it is like if I want lasagna, I'm gonna have lasagna.
Exactly. Yeah.
I want pizza. I want pizza.
You don't eat pizza with a fork. You don't eat. We're doing food do's and don'ts. You don't eat pizza with a fork. You don't eat burgers with a fork either.
Yeah.
I've never eaten a burger with a fork in my life.
Right? No.
I understand because some women need to because the burgers can be absolutely ridiculously huge and they just
your hands are small and you don't want all that.
I feel
to
you. Yeah, I got you. Everybody else.
No, if you cut it in half and eat it, fine. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if you with the fork and knife thing, then for that,
what else?
I'll just get a beef. You know what I'm saying?
What else should you not do with food?
My boy puts ketchup on his mac and cheese. I consider that to be absolutely disgusting.
You do ketchup on rice?
I don't do ketchup on.
My
just plain ketchup on rice, on white rice.
Yeah,
that sounds awful.
That sounds awful.
Get
some good gravy, man.
I
don't eat. You don't feel like forced to have turkey on Thanksgiving. It's not necessary. It's
I like that.
It ends up being dog food at the end of the day. No one likes unless you're like a turkey master and you can make that joint like
really juicy,
moist as hell.
Right.
Other than that, I'm good. I rarely eat turkey. I'll have one slice of turkey because it's Thanksgiving, and then everything else is gone.
I like turkey. So.
Now you said that. You learned a lot about cooking through. I think you said your mom.
Yeah, she cooked a lot.
What's your background in terms of cuisine?
My mother is half Filipino, half black. My pops is Trinidadian and Puerto Rican.
Hey, Eastern Caribbean.
Yeah. So it's a little mix of everything.
Gang.
Yeah.
Gang.
My mother made a lot of Philippine food growing up. She made a lot of fish, which is where I watched her fry fish, and I was like, I'm gonna do this with it, and then turned it up on her a little bit. So yeah,
you feel like culturally a lot of that is influenced like what you actually like to make and the things
100%. Yeah, but also just like traveling and living in New York where you can taste food from all types of regions and being like, oh snap, I can take that and then turn it into that. I can have fried chicken and waffles and try to freak it into a chicken and waffle taco. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do a bunch of different things with it. So food is fun as hell, man.
If you have a girl at the crib and you're trying to seal the deal, what's your go-to?
Oh man,
this is a good question.
It's an important question.
I don't know. I'm stingy, right? I don't like to cook for just anybody.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's not worth your meal.
But you're trying to seal the deal.
To seal the deal, I like.
She looks like a 9, or her personality's a 10.
I mean, that's a good. Damn, that's a nice little mix. I mean, for me, it's like
you can't look. If they look like a 10, there's got to be something wrong.
Everybody likes
I'm convinced. Man.
What?
I'm convinced.
That's the worst prejudgment I've ever heard.
I'll give you a few examples off air.
Okay. Fine.
I feel like the go-to is like a shrimp Alfredo that you make from scratch, right? But I feel like everybody can do that, right? Everybody can make a little seafood Alfredo and they can go to the store and get a can of sauce. But you can make the sauce real quick with butter and heavy cream and cheese real quick, whip it together. But like sometimes it's something simple like, hey, I can make us a salad, sear a piece of salmon real quick. You know, I love salmon, and
so do I.
Women tend to love salmon too, so it's just like, all right, well, I'll make some salmon. Or I love frying calamari. I could do that right quick at home.
Okay.
Fry some calamari, throw that on somewhere. So you can mix it up at all times. My go-to in that situation is to be like, hey, I make bomb breakfast. You know, so it's like I make bomb breakfast. You feel me? So let's just kick it for a while.
Kick it for now. Spend the night.
I mean, whether they actually get the breakfast in the morning is to be told or TBD. But
at least you letting them know this.
It is a possibility. Exactly. So
I respect that move.
We went left an hour.
We did go left. Yeah, it's okay. We just here shooting the shit.
All right. So last thing on food.
Okay.
If somebody's in a situation that you and I both have been in previously, where you're with somebody, the food's not slamming, what do you do to get exit?
Run out.
Yo, how do you get out of that?
It's tough because the most disrespectful thing you could do is give somebody back an entire plate of food or not eat it and just leave it there. Be like, oh, I'll take this to go. I try my hardest to eat it, right? And then be like, no.
You just said it. You could just take it to go.
You could take it to go. That's why I didn't think about that.
But if they see this still like the whole plate, they're going to be like, yo, why did you eat this?
I think you got to get
or you could just be like, yo, you could take a phone call, like, yo, word. I bet I'll be out of here. Yo, can I take this to go? I got to run real quick, drop it off at the homeless shelter on your way out.
The more we get in,
damn. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to eat it, I don't like wasting food.
Somebody
I'm going to give it to somebody.
The more we get into this, it sounds like an impossible situation.
It's not impossible. I mean, you could tell them, like, yo, this shit is trash, bro, but like
that's probably not going to work out.
It's not going to go over very well.
This is why y'all just got to go out to eat.
Yeah,
don't even risk it.
Yeah, I enjoyed talking to a woman who is comfortable cooking for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Not having to go out or not having to cook everything, right? So, but I'm also like a food snob, so I'm very like picky with what I eat, and if it's not good, I'm not going to eat it all. And that creates very uncomfortable situations.
As a fellow snob, that makes sense. But I'm a snob about other things.
Like what?
Do we have to get into this?
I mean, we already going there. We went left. Might as well make another left.
Make another left. What else are you snob about?
Do we need to go back into the media portion of this conversation?
Like people?
No.
Food?
Just no.
Media food? I didn't know because we talked about these things already.
You're right. But I'm saying like, certain things you read and you're like, fuck out of here.
Yeah, but I mean, everything's everybody. Some people do some stuff that's trash. Like people make trash meals.
That is a fact. Some people have trash sources.
Yeah,
it's all about.
Yeah,
it's all about.
Yo,
life,
I love how that's become back again through this podcast. You gotta take off your headphones, really?
I mean, it's real talk. Everybody's trusted. I trusted a source that burned me one time. I was a little upset.
Some people have no sources.
Oh, that's happened before?
Yeah, I had a guy when Porzingis got injured the first time. He got hurt and he was, I forget what it was. It wasn't Achilles. It wasn't the ACL. It actually wasn't any of that. But it happened in Cleveland. A guy in Cleveland texted me, "Hey, I just heard XYZ about Kristaps Porzingis. It might be a little bit more serious than I thought it was." And he had me thinking it was like a torn tendon of something. Oh. And I was like, "Yo, are you sure?" And he was like, "Yeah, I just heard it, and my guy just heard it too." I was like, "All right, cool."
You trusted him on it.
Woj tweeted the next day, "No tendon issue, no tendon damage, or anything like that."
Get flamed for it?
On Twitter, yeah. I definitely got, Twitter, I was old takes exposed right overnight. It was crazy.
Man. Really?
Yeah, like, she was crazy.
It's do you talk to that source anymore?
Not as much, but I mean, at that point, like, I had just gotten into journalism.
See, that's what I was going to
2-3 years ago, right?
It's tougher when you're like where Chris and I are.
Yeah.
It's early. You know what I mean? Where it's like you want to try to get something, and you don't know who to trust.
Exactly.
Where it's a lot of different. And then when you get older, you realize like, oh, all these people are talking to the same people.
Right.
So you
yeah.
Gotta get to those people.
Exactly.
So it's like, and then at some point, you're just like, you know what? Y'all just breaking shit. So whatever.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just I spoke to a couple of
people don't remember who's first that often.
Yeah.
Unless you're first all the time, like Woj.
Yes. I've spoken to my fair share of newsbreakers, and they were like, "Yo, this isn't a process that you can rush. You have to be in this game for at least 5 to 10 years for you to be credible."
Yeah, and that's just what it is.
It just happens organically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the shit that I've gotten, it just happened organically.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's like it's not many. It's just few and far between, but it's happened.
Yeah. Before we get you out of here, found out before this podcast, like myself and Brian used to be, you are a Jets fan.
I almost wore my Jamal Adams jersey here. Literally almost wore it. And I didn't even know we were going to talk about the Jets. So.
He's very entertaining.
Love that guy.
How are you feeling about the direction of the franchise?
Love it. I think signing Le'Veon Bell gives us some legitimacy, right? Because like, we can get a star free agent. Now who can we get next? People actually do want to come to the Jets. We're not the laughing stock of the league anymore. At least that's how I feel about it. Sam Darnold looks like he's going on the right trajectory. I like him as a quarterback. He had a shit ton of mistakes, but what rookies don't. I think I wanted us to get like a star wide receiver. I think that's what we need. I don't know where. I keep looking at different rumors. Listen, we're trading down. We're at 3. Some people are talking about trading down. Some people are talking about drafting Josh Allen there. I want DK Metcalf just because I feel like he's a fucking savage. But end of the day, we never know who we're gonna. And I'm cool with an edge rusher. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know we're a playoff team this year. I think after this season, we're a staple in the playoffs for years to come.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
You need to know. You need to know. So see that hope is not gonna do. You got to know.
I'm jaded. I'm jaded about a lot of my teams. I know nothing.
And if you're the Jets, I mean, Tom Brady got to stop this shit at one point.
Yeah, at a certain point.
Like at some
we
point,
don't know when.
At some point, it's just got
to
be
let a
over.
couple of our edge rushers get to him. Then he'll be all right. Then he'll call it a day.
Yeah, I'd like to see that happen.
But
let Jamal Adams run up on him.
It's happened before. It's not impossible.
Right.
We all remember Can't Wait 2010. You know what I mean? 2009 and 2010. Those
It's crazy that the highlight of the Jets of this decade, or as far back as I can remember, is Mark fucking Sanchez. Like that is the.
Well, no,
highlight.
it's not. It's the defense carrying Mark.
Sure,
Sanchez
yeah,
to the
but Mark
AFC
Sanchez was the face of that.
That's the highlight for the Jets fans. Not necessarily that great.
Yeah.
But you know what? I too feel like you. I do feel like they're probably. I don't watch as much as I used to, but I feel like they are headed in the right direction. So hopefully that happens.
I'm hyped. We got Le'Veon Bell. I think
I am
Robbie
too
Anderson is good.
because I like him. I think Le'Veon Bell's gonna tear it up.
I hope so. It just makes everything easier for Sam Darnold, right? You got that guy you could check down to. You got someone who can get you first downs. You got someone who can block for you. He's the do-it-all guy, and now we just need to. We need a center.
Fresh. He's gonna be fresh.
Have a center. Yeah, he took this whole year off, right?
He's gonna be fresh.
Yo, I can't wait. We need a center.
All right. So, is any hope for Knicks fans? Because it's very nervous days coming up.
Yeah,
Brian called May 14th the most important day for me this year.
I think the Knicks.
Was that a draft lottery?
Draft lottery.
I think the Knicks are gonna have a quick process back to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's good. That's a turnaround. It's gonna be.
Well. Unless if they don't hit this year, I'm not sure.
If they strike out, I don't want them to mess up and sign the wrong free agents. Right?
Yeah,
if you don't get Kyrie and Kevin Durant, don't go get Tobias and Kemba. Right?
Just
That's
chill.
not
Just
what
chill.
you do.
I agree.
You build around Zion. If you don't get those two,
Zion, right?
Yeah, you build around whoever you draft. You don't take a shot on lesser free agents. If you don't get one of the big three, which is Kyrie, Kawhi, or KD, sit it out.
All right.
I do like the young players though.
As
we talked about.
Yeah.
I really like Mitchell Robinson.
I love Kevin Knox.
Mitchell Robinson is the best shot blocking center in New York City.
Absolutely.
Kevin Knox, I like him a lot. I think he's going to be fine. Alonzo Trier's there. And Damian Dotson, who I also like.
I love Dotson. That boy can shoot it.
Yeah, I want
that boy can shoot it.
I'd like to see him come back on a very friendly deal as a 3-day player. I like him. Yeah, I like Dotson. I think he's a good role player. We'll see.
Wait, does he have another year on his contract, or is he a free agent now?
I thought he was a free agent this year, but I could be wrong.
I said Mitchell Robinson, best shot blocker center in New York City. I meant to say best shot blocker center soon in the NBA.
Okay,
I can see that. He has all the potential for that.
I can see that.
We'll see.
He'll probably lead the league in shot. He'll probably lead the league in shot blocking next year. Although he is also the best shot blocker center in New York City, contrary to what certain people may believe.
No, right. Mitchell Robinson is a truth, bro. I believe that.
And we all believe the Nets, as talking locally, the Nets fan base should be excited about whether 100%. They lose, about what the future is.
All things continue to point in the right direction for them. They're going to be a top maybe 4 seed next year.
Boom. Question for you: they strike out on Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Tobias Harris, Chris Middleton.
Basically everybody.
Yeah. Who do they address? Who do they address? Who do they go for at that 4 spot? Because they need somebody there. You can't keep playing Rhodey starting 4 minutes. You can't keep putting Jared Dudley at your starting 4. Right? That's not going to happen. I love Rhodey.
I would have to think about it a little more, but I would think that there's a trade out there that they can make.
Yeah, probably.
I would say
probably. They have draft picks that they don't need.
I don't think you go and get like PJ Washington and be like, that's your solution there.
No.
If you're trying to win now necessarily, you want any of your rookies that you're going to get because they're not going to be so high in the draft. You want them to come off the bench.
What about Julius Randle?
I mean,
that's
maybe.
interesting.
Shooting 34% from 3 this year.
Yeah, because he has gotten better from 3. I find that whole New Orleans situation very interesting because like Anthony Davis's team is not that bad. They're talented.
I don't think it's the right type of talent around him.
I agree. I don't think he and Randle are necessarily like the best fit together. But Randle with the Nets will make a little bit more sense.
I think that could make a lot of sense.
And he played with D'Lo, right? Didn't Julius Randle and D'Lo play together?
Yeah. Now it's interesting.
That's a signing I actually would like for them. That's not bad.
That's like having Rondé 4.0. Right?
4.0.
Yeah.
He took it to a whole nother level of evolution.
Right? No, I'm serious. This is a guy who's
I like Rondé, but I know what you're saying.
I know what you're saying.
I know what you're saying.
I like to
use this is where you wish Rondé was right now.
I think it's also very possible that they can keep Jared Dudley there for, their
100%. I just don't think he's going to. Number one, he made like $9.5 million this year. He's going to have to come back on a lower deal because this is the third year of a 3-year, $30 million.
$9.5 next year.
He's probably going to get the vets minimum.
He's on. Yeah, he's got a few more years left.
I think he would stay for that. I just agree with you. You can't keep starting him out there at the 4.
No.
And we like him, but you can't keep starting him out there.
I love him.
I think for the Nets fans, no matter what happens for the rest of the playoffs, the future's bright. They should definitely be excited.
They're gonna have to. They 99.9% have to trade that Allen Crabbe contract.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's no disrespect to Allen Crabbe, but it's like if you're gonna progress and you really want that flexibility, and you really want to have the ability to have these options and talk and get these players that we're talking about.
1 year, 19 and a half
That's
million,
why it's going to be attractive. You'll be able to. A lot of people are going to be going after the J.R. Smith contract.
You're going to have to attach a pick to that contract.
Though. 100%. But you do it because this draft is not great, and because you have 3 picks. What you want to trade ideally is the second first-round pick. Yeah. You don't want to trade the second-round pick because the second-round pick gives you a little more leverage to negotiate, and you have the first pick in the second round, so you're going to get a first-round caliber player.
Teams are going to want that fucking pick, though.
Of course.
Let's get that next pick.
Or they might want the other one, which I believe is going to be 17. I believe there's 17, 27, and 31.
Yeah,
31 is such a good pick, man. Yeah. 17 is also going to be a really good pick because people slide down all the time. They might get a gem in there. Marks is a good getting gems.
And they might want to trade. I don't know. I don't know what the.
And then you got Musa coming back next year too, and I'm high on Musa. I like him a lot. That guy, he can hoop.
No, I think he's good. I think he did need a year in the G League.
He's gonna be that spark plug coming off the bench.
But he also had injuries. Yeah, so
like I said, I think the future's bright.
But here's the thing too. Like we talk about how Boston has too much talent, which I think is kind of ridiculous in some respects. But I get it. The Nets might have that problem next year.
Yeah, especially if they use all those draft picks. I don't like that. I think they know. I think they know that's coming.
I think they know it's coming. You got to make moves.
Yeah, basically what I'm saying is you're not going to be able to use all 3 of those draft picks and get guys that are going to help you.
But you got to use it to how you can trade and make, as you guys are saying. And
maybe what you do. Maybe what you do is attach 17 to Allen Crabbe and then combine 27, 31 and move up to 22 or something.
It's a good problem. You have options. So
22 is where they got Jared Allen too.
It's not bad.
Or maybe you work on some other package and make an unpopular move and try to get some other players out of there to get some other players in there.
What if you sign Nikola Mirotic?
Oh well,
that would be a fantastic signing.
Gerard will freaking have a parade in the streets.
He wants that.
He wants.
That'd be nice. He just can't really defend that many people, but he's gonna spread that floor.
No, but he's perfect for what the Nets need.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They need that kind of game.
I like that. Yeah,
they need that kind of game. But again, where does this sort of leave them? You know what I mean? You're
in the same place, really. It doesn't move the needle too
much. Unless Karis LeVert stays healthy, and that helps you move the needle.
And if D'Lo takes that next step forward.
Right, exactly.
We have to see that stuff to happen. We'll see. Exciting 100%. Time for them. All right.
Exciting time for the Knicks, too. Sorry, guys. Because if they nail free agency.
Boy. I'll be at the Garden more often this year.
What I tell you before, they nail free agency, you might not even see me.
Yeah, he said
I'm somewhere basking in the glory.
He said we might have to take the whole summer off from doing the podcast, and I'm not allowing that to happen because we need to get this content off.
Oh yeah, it's a fact.
See, I just banged the table.
He did bang the table.
You did. You said you wouldn't today. Huh? Yeah.
I didn't say I wouldn't today.
Oh, you did it. You said you don't do it anymore.
Yeah,
I knew that wasn't going to last long.
But don't see. That's the thing. I generalize a lot of what I say, which could be problematic.
Yes,
but you know what I'm saying. It's just
problematic. Brian Fonseca.
People need to understand. That's just what it is, man. People need to understand not to take things so literal.
Right. And we're in a society now where people take everything so damn serious.
Oh, yeah.
Chill out, man.
They do. All right, numbers.
All right. Who is going to be on the artwork?
I have no idea what's going on right now, but I'm with it. I like jumping into this.
You said it like you knew. He's like, okay, numbers.
Yeah. So I have no clue.
So basically, on our artworks, I should pull up an example. Okay. So basically, on our artworks for the episodes, what we tend to do is shout out an athlete whose number it is. For 75, as you can see, we put Francisco Rodriguez of all people. Dang. And then we just have all this other stuff.
Basketball players don't even wear numbers in the 70s, do they? Do we have, besides Luka Doncic, obviously, it would be number 70s.
There's some 77s. But that's our next episode.
Yeah.
That's Vladimir Romanovich and people like that.
Wow.
But
currently, I don't know about
76, there's one player ever that wore 76
in the NBA.
Sean Bradley.
Wow.
We already had Sean Bradley on that episode. I don't know why we had Sean Bradley on that episode. That number must have been terrible, but it's okay because we got Jumbo Elliott, former Jet. You're a Jet fan.
I can deal with that. I can do that.
We have Orlando Pace.
Wow.
You remember him
from the Rams?
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Hall of Famer, I believe.
Hall of Famer, yep.
We have, I can't pronounce his name, and we're not going to pick him. Okay, thank you.
Who?
He was offensive lineman for a while. Wow. Very good.
Whatever.
Flozell Adams.
We should use him just for his name. Flozell.
I love that name.
Adams.
My son Flozell. What's
George
good, boy?
Foreman.
Oh, really?
He has 76 wins as a boxer.
I know I'm going. I know I'm going.
I'm going with my guy right here. Next person. PK Subban.
Yo, we don't even rep for hockey that much, but PK Subban.
Wow, that's one of very few hockey names that I know.
That's what I'm saying.
PK Subban. out here,
Oh
blazing
man!
it.
I mean, do I have like complete autonomy over who we pick?
You have a vote. Sometimes we give you want complete autonomy. Is that what you want?
I mean, if I do have
If
complete
you had brought
autonomy, I'm
food,
going with the
if you
Jets.
had-
I'm going with the Jets guy, whoever it was.
Jumbo Elliott?
Yeah, that's who I would go
if
with.
he had brought food, he would have got complete
Oh
autonomy.
man, it's all right. So we have a split vote then, because he's.
I don't
going-
like the name Jumbo.
Why not? Jumbo is the perfect name.
What?
Me personally, I get it because you're a big offensive
I
lineman.
like
but
Jumbo. I don't like Jimbo.
The
I like
name,
Jumbo.
Yeah, no,
that's-
Jimbo is trash.
Jimbo is terrible.
Yeah.
Jumbo.
Jimbo's like, I know exactly what you look like, but that's all. So I say Jimbo, I know exactly what they look like.
with Jumbo.
Describe
is
Jimbo
like,
to me. I want to hear Jimbo.
Jimbo's probably wearing a shirt with the Confederate flag on it.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
that'll work. Sure, I'll take that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
man.
with and if you're Jim, don't go like if people nickname you Jimbo, just don't accept it. Because if you do,
Just
then
be like,
it's-
no. We're not doing Jimbo.
All right,
today.
but Jumbo's just.
Are
like,
we going?
this is
Are we
weird.
going with
You
Jumbo?
can't-
Are we going with Jumbo Elliott?
No, we're going with PK Subban.
Sorry.
Are y'all
Come
both
on.
going PK Subban?
We got a
Yeah,
rep
we
for the
are.
black
Damn.
hockey player,
I'll take that.
who's also
I'll take
really,
that.
really, really good.
Good.
Okay.
And people don't like him because he doesn't know how to respect the game.
Well, what is PK short for?
I don't know. That's actually really
I don't
good.
want to. I'm not getting behind a man whose name is an acronym.
I don't know.
I need
wow.
to know. I need to know what his name stands for.
Pernell Carl Sylvester PK
Does
Subban.
that change your opinion
No,
on
my-
what you
my-
want to do?
My
with
cousin's name is Pernell.
Pernell Whitaker
Pernell
was
Whitaker.
a really good boxer.
Spell
back in the
Pernell.
day.
P-U-R-P-R-U.
It's P-E-R, right? N-E-double-L.
Like Pernil, almost
Almost.
like pork
Like
shoulder.
Pernell, pork
Almost.
shoulder.
Pork shoulder
Almost.
Subban. I'll take that. Pork shoulder
Pork
Subban.
shoulder
Yeah,
Subban.
That's my
Pernell
man right
Carl.
there.
All right.
Pernell Carl.
That's it.
It's a
Episode
black name, right?
76. That is very black.
It's a black name.
Yeah.
Pork
I
shoulder
wonder if
Subban.
somebody told me to go with PK to make it more acceptable.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yo, Pernell Subban would have been fired though.
Pernell.
I never had thought about knowing what his
Pernell
name
K.
was.
Subban.
I like it.
That's a good
It's
name.
strong. It's a
I
strong
like
name.
that. He's from Toronto.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did know that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's from the
What if I just shorten my name to KJ? Since my middle
I
name
was
is a
thinking
J.
KJ Winfield.
KJ Winfield.
KJ
Nah,
Win-
that doesn't have the same ring to it. That's
Nah.
PK Subban.
Nah.
I think KJ will work.
KJ works though.
KJ works?
I don't
KJ
think
works.
it works.
I'm changing my name.
Do it.
KJ?
I'm just doing it. Yeah, it's just
Just do
happening.
it.
You should
Today's
do it.
the day.
You should, yeah, you
Today's
should
the day.
change your Twitter name. KJ.
No, I'm gonna lose a check mark. That's not going down.
Oh
That's
yeah,
not
you
going
ain't gonna have the
down.
verification
Yeah,
no more.
nah, it's not
That's
happening.
true. So you're not gonna do that.
But I might just do it for my actual name, or so I could just change
go
that to
there.
KJ.
I don't have a Twitter check mark yet.
Right, yeah.
It's all right. One day.
But here's
Yo,
the
he
thing.
gave you the pity pat.
But here's the thing. I've rebelled against it. I'm like, I don't like. I've seen some other people with check marks, and with all due respect,
Yeah, some people just don't deserve them. To be honest, like why do you
some.
have a check
I would say
mark?
most.
Excuse the
I've
fuck
seen-
out of me.
I'm seeing
What kind of
I've-
shit is this?
I'm not attacking you here, but I'm attacking some other people. That,
Well, yeah,
you know what I'm
100%.
saying?
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, you don't know who I'm talking about because I'm generalizing again. I'm talking about a mass group of people who have
I know
check
who
marks.
you're talking about.
There are a lot of people that have check marks
I
For
know
sure.
who
that
you're
don't
talking
deserve them.
about.
For sure.
And then I'm here like I'm doing way better shit than these people, and I don't have a check mark.
How'd you
That's-
end up on that
check-
MSG short string?
The check mark
with,
is
with
so,
my son.
See, thank you
Oh
for
my
thank
God.
you for putting some respect about what he's doing out here, which is part of the reason he deserves a check mark. But I think check mark's kind of overrated. But that's
How
all.
did that come about?
It just happened.
And how did that?
That's all
How
I
did
can
the
really
group
say.
of people come about for that?
It
Like,
really just
well,
happened. I really like I can't sort of like get into it because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a producer, so
Gotcha.
it just kind of happened. Like I just showed up.
You
Like
auditioned.
they liked me. I showed up one day. Whoever was there, and I was like, all right, cool, we're doing this.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it.
that'll work.
That's
You
a
know
good.
what
It's a good opportunity. He's been killing it on there.
Yeah, is that like a series? I haven't been watching.
I think with MSG we'll have some more stuff soon.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
hopefully.
out
Hopefully.
There might be some more stuff soon.
Hopefully.
But
Praying on it.
that's a wrap on this episode 76
yeah?
of the AHTT Podcast.
Wow.
We want to thank you, my man Kristian Winfield. Probably going by KJ soon.
You gotta
KJ
you
Winfield,
gotta
there
edit
we
this
go.
one down.
I do.
Definitely.
How long did we go for? What was
Like
the-
an hour and a half. But
Oh, wow.
We'll probably cut it down a little bit.
115.
Well,
take
yeah,
that.
We'll cut it down. But thank you for coming through, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for having
We
me. This was fun.
appreciate it.
I told you I've been campaigning to get on this damn podcast.
Yeah, you
for I don't know
tweeted-
how
you-
long.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
yo,
you
y'all gonna
tweeted
bring
it.
me on this damn podcast sooner or later.
I'll let you know right
So-
now. We don't get everybody on that campaign.
I'm gonna sound like Sway in the morning. Everybody can't come up here.
So Sway
nah, I
at the
feel
fight
you.
last night.
yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
No, but you would hit me up a while back ago and was like, "Yeah, we're gonna make it happen."
Yeah,
and,
no.
and we
Next
did.
time we'll eat.
Yeah, we gotta do that
I'll
next
bring
time.
some food next time. Oh, shout outs to Sway. That was the first person I interviewed. About I wasn't a Knicks story, but he was at the Bed-Stuy.
First person you
Michael
interviewed
Jackson.
ever?
Oh, you got the Michael Jackson
Yeah,
Prince,
this was a couple years ago
party
now.
that Spike always does?
And he was there, and he let me interview him for, this is when I was doing work for the Brooklyn Daily Eagle. I was like, hey, can I talk to you about
I didn't
what
know
this
you
means
worked
to
for
you?
them, too.
Yeah, it was a quick
really?
it was a quick turnaround. Yeah,
Damn, that was a good start. Who's the first person I ever interviewed?
I don't know.
Brett Jones.
Ah, okay.
Who?
You don't know that, right?
That's an insider. Right
Although
there.
he also
It's from Bed-Stuy. He's from Bed-Stuy.
and played for your school.
Brett
as well.
Jones?
Yeah.
No. He went to Bedford Academy.
Not Banneker, sorry.
He played at St. Francis.
It's easy
for a
to
while.
categorize Banneker and Bedford
But they're
together.
also rivals, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well,
Who was your first interview?
Wow.
like in anything?
Yeah. Well,
Going back to
sports media
college, like professional college, is when I'm in college count?
career. Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Because professional for me would also be a different answer.
My first NBA interview.
It's probably either Brandon Knight
Oh, that's nice.
or Julius Page at Pitt. One of those two when I was at Pitt.
My first NBA interview was Lance Thomas.
Okay.
I was day one in Nick's locker room.
I was Chris Copeland.
Been my guy since then. Oh,
Hey.
yeah. Wow.
Chris Copeland. We
Shout
were
out
at
to Chris
Nike Pro
Copeland.
City.
My man had
Yeah.
this guy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
On the sideline. Doing sideline reporting.
Yeah.
Nah,
So
that's
it's good.
nice.
If you're going back to the first, that's got to be like another podcast topic. Yo, man, thank you for coming.
Thank
We're
you
talking
for
about the
having me.
basketball
Absolutely.
and the food. We really appreciate that.
Anybody interested in getting some food, follow at Chris and Chips NYC. That's KrisNChips NYC. On Instagram, just check out some of the food we got on there. It's all types of stuff.
Yeah,
and
follow that. And
hit me on-
I will tell people, the man's food is presented well, looks good.
yes,
I
you can
was
attest
joking
to
with
how
him.
it tastes
I
later.
was joking with him earlier, but the presentation is on point. He's not on Cooking for Bay. You can trust me on that. It's on point, man. We thank you again for coming.
Thank you for having me, man.
Listeners,
There we go.
thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on Patreon, Twitter, Instagram. We're on there. Make sure you follow our man Kristian Winfield. He does a great job covering the NBA.
At Chris Splash.
That's it.
KrisPlashe. You'd be surprised at how many people can't pronounce that or say it. Is it that hard of a name?
No,
to,
it's not.
To pronounce?
Nah.
Like,
It's really not.
How
But
y'all doing?
you can follow him there.
Or just search his name.
For
Yeah,
his
search
name,
my
and
name.
you can find him there too.
Young KJ Winfield on deck.
There you go.
Feel me.
So for Kristian Winfield, Brian Fonseca, I'm Dex Henry. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Later.